Welcome to Down South Football Podcast. We're in the building tonight. I got me, of course, your man, Renard Williams. We got our boy, David Gardner, Mr. Ben Dennis, Mr. Chauncey Tuck, and special superstar guest, Mr. Damian Mitchell of Jocks 94.5. What's going on, fellas?
What up with you, man?
Yeah,
All good.
We got
All good this way.
Hey, man, let the celebrity talk. Let the celebrity talk.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. We got the we have multiple celebrities. We also have Dave. Dave is another celebrity.
Hey, y'all the celebrities, man.
Wait, whoa. How we slept? What's around your neck right now?
Where are you right now? That's the question.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Damian, what's good, man? How you been, brother?
Man, life's great. I can't even sit here and lie to you. A lot of opportunities to come my way. Just trying to maximize the opportunities that I have. But becomes more success comes more responsibility. So I'm just on the grind.
Hey man, we appreciate you. You know you part of the family, man. We're glad you came in and chop it up with us tonight. You know we about to have a little fun about a few topics. But y'all ready to get into it?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Hey, first thing we gonna do, let's talk about the SWAC Media days. You know, since other people want to have they lanyard around their neck, hey,
I should have went. Yeah, I thought about it.
Hey, ain't nobody got their lanyard around? Ain't nobody got no lanyard?
I thought about
it. Mine over there on my turntables.
Mine's on my whip.
Mine in my room.
Mine's in the whip. So I was like, I'm mad.
Right, I feel you. But we had the pleasure and the honor of being at the 2021 SWAC Media Days, man. It was actually a great event. We were covered everywhere. Me, Ben, and Tuck actually got to go in person. David was hitting them hard on the virtual questions. But it was a great event. It was really a great event, man. So a few takeaways from it. I think I said it on the post video. The SWAC is deep.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking to some of the guys and getting some stuff from them as we get into it, I think you've seen some of the most talent I've seen in the SWAC. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I'm just saying that it seems to be very, very talented, very, very heavy, and it's going to be some real deal competition. Dave, I'm gonna let you go first. What's your impressions from what you saw at the SWAC?
My impression was pretty much what I kind of knew coming in. You were gonna have your three main guys as far as coaches. Maynard, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You have, of course, Dion. Dion was going to be the show. Then, of course, the
who?
Hold on, Dave. Hold on. Coach Sanders.
Oh my
God!
No.
Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Dave said it right.
Coach Sanders. Now, Dave, don't get us put in the box like Coach Sanders.
Hey,
we gonna get on that. Go ahead, Gordon.
Hey, unlike the first guy, Coach Sanders or Coach Prime, he was there. Of course, he was going to be the face of it. And then I was happy to see McNair, coach from Alcorn.
Right.
I got a chance to speak with him. And of course, you have your coach down from Alabama State. He was there. So to me, I think those were the four big faces. Now, of course, and of course, your two newcomers, BCC and FAMU. But overall, man, a couple questions I asked. I talked to Coach Maynard about his offense. He kind of spoke about that. How they try to be, explosive, exploit the defense. Work the matchups. Basically, from what I got from it, he says nothing hard. It's not like playing chess or anything. It's just, just finding your matchups and attacking it. One big takeaway I took from two schools, Alcorn State and Alabama State. The question I asked them was, how did COVID-19 affect their recruiting?
Mm-hmm.
Alabama State was like, hey, they only was able to sign 5 guys out of high school due to the fact that nobody lost eligibility and the fact that of the budget.
Right.
Alcorn State, Coach McNair was like, they probably missed on some guys they could have gotten. They said they did a good job, in the virtual world of getting some guys, but they probably missed on some talent. But one strong point he made, he spoke on the transfer portal, and he said that kids really have to be careful when you hop in this portal because it's over 3,000 kids in there. And he said that unfortunately, some of those kids won't ever get a chance to play college football again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be stuck. So, it's just that year for the seniors of 2021, everybody, it reshaped the landscape of recruiting, and it's going to reshape the landscape of college football, COVID-19.
And that was, it was a lot of great takeaways. And then before I go to get our takeaways, I think we kind of gave it a post, but I also want to make sure that we recognize a couple of things. So we got the 2021 preseason SWAC football. Of course, Mr. Glass, the man, was named the offensive MVP, preseason offensive MVP, and Jordan Lewis was the defensive MVP, player of the year, whatever you want to say, for the preseason for the SWAC. And then of course you see Alabama A&M and Alcorn State were the two that were picked to actually go to the actual SWAC championship game. So this was the actual preseason poll right here, voted on by the media, which I'm glad we was at least able to get this. As you can see,
right.
They got old JSU third. They got them Bulldogs representing again, Dave.
No surprise there. No
surprise there.
and then in the West we got Alcorn State, who says it. Okay. Who said basically it's still their championship. Let them tell.
Right.
Okay. Who? I just want to know. I want to know how the point setup was, because who gave 25 points
to Mississippi Valley?
I just want to know
y'all. Hey, that coach was clean. The coach was clean. Leave him alone.
Hey, that should have got a 40 off that alone. Like, damn, who gave him 25?
All I'm saying is they ain't been good since Jerry Rice. So come on, man.
I would tell you one big surprise to me though. I think they might be sleeping on Pine Bluff.
I do too. I agree.
They the defending West champions, so to just say they gonna just lay down like that, I don't know. And
they said it.
Yeah,
they said they feel like they were being slept on. One of the guys that I really am want to see this fall is the guy from FAM, DeMarcus Bell.
Yes.
I think it was the safety.
Yeah.
I was looking up for him. I was looking up his stuff beforehand, man. 6'3", 210, 215 pounds. He transferred into FAMU. I can't remember where he came from, but dude is a freight train, bro. He's a safety. He's back there sticking it. He already got like a 3rd or 4th round draft grade on him right now. Yeah, he's somebody I want to see. He wasn't even first team. They didn't even pick him first team all SWAC. He was second team.
And what did he tell us, Renard, when we talked to him? What he said? He said, "Man, I'm just ready to go out there and hit somebody." And he was dead ass serious. Like, I'm just ready to go out there and hit somebody, man. That was not
gave me Junior Rose Green vibes. That's what he gave me.
Oh, you're right. Because here's the thing. You can't call nobody a headhunter no more. So you just got to be like, he's solid. That's all. I'm just saying he's solid. Right. And when I looked at him, I was like, okay, he a football player. He's a hitter.
His words were straight to the point. He didn't say much. He said what he needed to say. He answered the question. And when he said that, he was just like, man, we just ready to go out here, man. We just ready to come out here and show the SWAT what we can do. And I'm just ready to go out here and hit somebody. I was like,
I just want a LeBron jersey.
To follow up on what he said, when we asked him about name, image, and likeness, he said, I know about it. I'm researching and doing my thing, but I ain't here for that. Like,
he about that action, boss. He about that action.
We both, me and Renard both was like,
I got you, bro. I got you. I said, y'all gonna come in the SWAC? What y'all gonna do, man? I said, y'all gonna be in the championship game? That boy looked at me like, what you think?
And I really like Coach Fobbs too from Graham.
Right.
He was a really down to earth guy. He's a fellow Leo. That's one thing I found out. He made sure that everybody knew that. And shout out to Quinn Burrell, who's also the wide receivers coach down there in Grambling. I think they're gonna sneak up on some people because he's very humble. He was very humble about some stuff. When I asked him how the season looked, he said, "Look, man, I'm just ready to go. I'm just ready to go.
But
I got these boys ready to go."
They had a little turnover down there too. In that transfer quarter as well. Was it the starting quarterback? I think.
Yeah,
One,
and
that
then
is it Higginbotham? Is that his name?
yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
right. And they have I think they got a brand new offensive line coach, and they got a brand new quarterback coach.
Yeah.
The quarterback coach is real nice. I mean, he's been in the NFL a couple of years. He's done some things like I'm like, okay, he's trying to make this a program. You know, he's trying to bring back the Eddie Robinson days. But we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if Grambling, just stepped up there and did some things. So, we'll see.
And I was gonna say before we get off Grambling, and Dave, I just want to let you know that we were told from one of our viewers and listeners that the picture with Coach Fobbs was great because you weren't in it, and he told me to make sure. he said all of that A&M, all that would have just stunk up the pic. So he was like, it was a good thing that you went in the pic. I just wanted to relay the message. That's all.
Well, it's interesting to say that because as I was looking through my itinerary of what coaches was going to be on the virtual.
Okay.
Right before Grambling coach came on, I left the meeting. So,
Burn, you hear what he said, Burn?
But look.
Hey, Burn
said what?
and look, I'm just glad that the Arkansas Pine Bluff coach did not take us.
Hey, brother.
Hey.
That's behind the scenes, brother. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Y'all got to pay for that inside information. We'll talk about that off air.
That's gonna be on the bloopers.
Yeah, that's gonna be the bloopers.
The blooper reel.
Look, bringing it back in. I'm glad that we was able to be at the SWAC, but also, of course, I would be crazy if I didn't talk about the event that happened while that everybody was having a fit over.
Everybody hitting us about it.
We need to discuss this Dion thing for at least 5-10 minutes. And I'm just look at Damian. Damian Red. I know he got something to say.
Let Damian rip Wilson. Go ahead, D. What you got?
Hold on. No. Wait. Let the host be the host now. Let's hear what he said.
Hey, Dion, was just wondering if you could...
hold on. Let's back up a little bit. You don't call Nick Saban Nick. Don't call me Dion now, okay?
I call Nick Saban Nick.
You don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's a lie. If you call Nick Nick, you get cussed out on the spot. So don't do that to me. Treat me like Nick.
Okay, Dion.
All right.
Just...
Dion said he out.
Bruh.
Disrespect.
Okay. So... I mean, since I was like, okay, I wasn't in the room or nothing like that, but so when Dion came out of the virtual room, because it was a room for the green room for all the media, and then there was the main ballroom where all the players was, and there was a room for virtual.
Right.
He came out the virtual room. He was mad. I mean, he was upset. He was
Jackie was in the wind.
He was talking to his people, and this was right before. This is right before he went up to ESPN to talk to them, and because Renard and Ben was right beside me, I'm like, I'm listening to this. I'm like, something's going on. Because I was just trying to get because by the way, be prepared to watch our recap, little small recap video. We're gonna have drop it on later on. But I got the video and I listened to it. I'm like, and I was just trying to get a slow walk up of Dion. That's all I was trying to get. And I'm just hearing him. He said, this don't make no sense. He don't know who I am and blah, blah, blah. I still don't know what was going on.
Right.
Now that everybody was texting me, sending me this link of what happened with Dion, I'm like,
it makes sense.
It makes sense now because I mean he was going on. He wasn't cussing enough. He was like, "This man don't know who my name is Dion. I'm dead burning. They don't make no sense. I had to get my boys and get on out of here." But shout out to Jackson State for letting the kids Shador and I forgot the other guy name.
Right.
For letting them stay and to experience it because he already had talked to them and they was in the green room already doing the other interviews and stuff like that. But man, this blew up way more than I thought it was. I did not think this was gonna blow up like this until I found out what happened.
So Damian, sir, I got to hear what you say because I know we got David got a lot to say about this. So what do you got to say, sir?
All right, so first off, me personally, when you are a coach, that's like the first thing I'm always like, that's just me natural. I'm gonna say coach. until told otherwise. So like it comes with the territory. So like once I figure out you're a coach, you coach from that point forward. Now, I mean, I was at SEC Media Day. I heard a lot of first names being called. But what I was pissed off about was when Dion did address it, the dude said, "Okay, I'm gonna call you Dion anyway." Like,
yep,
that was my problem. I'm like, bro,
Right.
That was the disrespectful part.
Yeah,
that was it.
I was like, man, Dion being cool. Like, he's just like, just call me coach. Like, I'm asking him nicely, and it's like, can you call me coach? If you know, I understand when he was like, you wouldn't call Nick Saban that, but of course, everybody started pulling out receipts of, hey, Nick, hey, Nick, hey, Nick. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But what made me, I think I was more upset, or I looked at it more disrespectful when the reporter was like, I called Nick, I'm going to call you Dion. When he just literally got out of his mouth, can you call me coach?
Right.
And I think to your point to that, Damian, like you were saying, is if Nick Saban were to say, hey, don't call me Nick, call me Coach Saban,
he would.
I don't think the next word out of the reporter's mouth is going to be, okay, Nick, because like he said, Nick would have went off like I done told you, you know what I'm saying? So I think to your point, that was the whole thing about with Dion. It was like, yo, I laughed it off. I was like, ha ha ha, cool, just call me such and such. And then you just gonna just be smart ass and be like, okay, Dion, okay, dude, you know what?
Like, I would have done the exact same thing.
Mr. Gardner, the floor is yours, sir.
One point I made earlier today at one of my alumni groups was I made the reference to, have you guys ever met a older lady and you may have called her whatever you called her, but it was, and she may say, well, it's Miss or Mrs. Jones or whatever the case may be. And at that point, you basically just take a step back and say, okay, well, Mrs. Jones, blah, 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 blah. Now, the mistake that this guy did when he was asked to, could you at least address me as coach? Like being said, okay, then Dion. Now, that's total disrespect. Now, I get the fact of Dion leaving. Now, second point that I thought of, I was kind of reading through some stuff today that was kind of brought to my attention, is that it's a cultural thing with us. When you think about handles, ma'am, Mr.,
Doctor,
doctor. It's a cultural thing with us to put titles, whether it's deserving or right or wrong or however you may feel about it personally, but just in our culture. If David, if I met your parent would be Mr. Miss Mitchell. I mean, that's just
right. That's how we are.
How we are. Now, there are other cultures that are more informal that doesn't mind, saying, Damien. So I think it's the more exposure we get, the more we get to learn each other.
Right.
And I think it's a culture gap, and it was also a respect gap there too, because if the man asks you to just address him as coach, even when I did interviews, if I don't even, I didn't say, hey, what's up? What's going on, Connor?
Right.
I said, Coach Maynard, or if I didn't want to say, if I didn't know his last, I just say, hey, Coach, what do you think about it? I think that would have been suffice, but I do think he was disrespectful. I think it was condescending. I think whatever word you want to put in there and use, that's the case. But you have other people on the other side of the spectrum that says, well, he didn't even want to be addressed by Coach Sanders. He want to be addressed by Coach Prime. So, however it go, whether you want to call it Coach Sanders, Coach Prime, can you at least call him Coach?
Right.
And if until you get on that relationship, with Dion and the reporter, I guess the reporters with Nick, they may have some type of camaraderie where they may feel comfortable because heck, you've been coaching forever. So you just never know the insides of that. So that's my 2 cents, man. I think it's just a cultural thing.
Right.
Did he overreact? I don't think he overreacted. I think he acted like he acted better than what he wanted to act. Because he really
walking away was probably the best thing that he could have did, because we know what he probably wanted to do, and it wasn't just get up and walk away.
Right. So and that's all I got on it, man.
Okay. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Well, I'll just go say, and like 75% of what Dave said, I agree with. But to the fact of him saying, "Oh, no, call me Dion." I mean, that's that's the name your mama gave you. I mean, we do it like Dave said about the titles, and he didn't call it. It's not what you answer to. So you're not gonna answer to Dion just because you're a coach now. I mean, come on. Like I said, I do think he overreacted. I mean, but I do now that David brought some great valid points into it. Yeah, okay, but I still think he overreacted. But I mean, come on, Dion. Dion's a DB. You know what I'm saying? They are all about themselves. You know what I'm saying? They are all flashy. They're all like that. And it is Dion. He's prime time. That day, for that whole day, nobody talked about nothing that happened at SEC Media Day. They talked about Dion. He did exactly what he wanted to do.
That's a fact.
To your point, Tuck, and now that I think about it, and I'm really, I never agree with you, so I'm really not agreeing with you. I'm just
that's true. For anybody new that's watching, these two never agree.
I said 75%.
That's a rep. Yeah, I figured it. But I agree. I mean, if I met Deion Sanders on the street because he's such a cultural icon, I would say Deion. If I saw Michael Jordan on the street,
I'm prime.
I would even say prime. Me thinking, I probably say Deion.
Yeah, right.
If I saw Michael Jordan, I probably like, that's Jordan. Jordan, what's up?
Exactly.
Charles Barkley. Because they're such household figures, now we have to look at them in a different light, or look at him in a different light. So it's a work in progress. But I would have walked out too.
Yeah, I think. Well, we gonna
prove a point. But to prove a point, I would have walked out too, because he kept telling him, "Hey, dude,
to not do that. Right?
Call me coach," and he just said, "Well, see, wait, what Dion messed up was, well, you gonna call me like you called Coach Saban." Coach Saban, but he never did say that. So Glass wanted to be a butthole and say, "Okay, then Dion," and he was trying to be funny, but it was not the time to be funny. Bro.
It was already gone, bro.
It was already gone, bro. At that point, it wasn't no joking in it. The joke was over with.
It was over with. So let's move on. Let's move on a little bit. These two things kind of work together because it was discovered at SEC Media Days. I'm gonna get a good wrap up from the guy that was producing and was there for most of it. But I'm not finna sit up here and we not gonna sit up here and talk about the biggest story right now in college football and in sports in general. That's that OU and Texas, which been rumored. This is crazy that it was rumored over a year and a half ago about them wanting possibly to join the SEC. OU and Texas said, "We reaching out. Are you interested? Not SEC coming after us. Are you interested in us? Do you
want us? Do you want
right?
Do you want me?
And we have a timeline. I have a good timeline sitting that I'm looking at right in front of me about a lot of this, but it's just crazy. So before we get too deep into all the complications and the complexities of the businesses and the sports and the money and the Longhorn Network, I just want to know your initial thoughts, and we'll start around the room. I'll start with Mr. Gardner.
My initial thought was, I text my initial thought. Because I looked at it from a standpoint of, you get into the SEC, you pretty much build yourself a 2-loss cushion. I said it. You build yourself a two-loss cushion. You also guarantee you're probably going to be in the top 15 every year preseason. It makes sense. But all jokes aside, I don't know if it's about wins and losses, because at the same time, I don't know if, well, I do know Texas is not going to, they're not going to come win no conference. I don't know. Oklahoma can compete, of course. But, it's kind of weird, man, that it happened. I guess the one big question is will the SEC be willing to go to 16 teams, though?
Yes.
They are willing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because maybe Arkansas might go back to Big 12.
Because what they want is what they really want is what we talked about this a while back. Is really what they want in Power 5. And all the stuff is lining up. It's 4 16-team super conferences. That's really what they want. And basically with those 4 conferences having total control over them in the NCAA bag and back.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they had to do last year. They had to do it last year.
They had to let the conferences handle it how they handled it.
And with Mark Emmert coming out and saying, we're going to bag back. From his statement, the president of NCAA, we're going to bag back and let the universities and everybody work this stuff out. So I don't know. Go back. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, I think it's good. Now, I think they should. This is off topic a little bit. I mean, they may have to, get rid of some of those out of conference games. I mean, you got 16 teams.
One
No
game
need to put La Tech on your schedule.
No, it's definitely going to go at least 9. That's a definite.
Yeah.
Every Power 5 school play anyway.
It's good to see. I like it. I like the idea. I'm cool with it.
Oh, what up, Vernon? I just saw you in the comments, man. Vernon, shout out to Vernon, man. He's got his own YouTube channel on Auburn Sports.
Shout out, Vern.
Vernon Speaks Sports, Auburn. Got that big following. I see you. Ben, what's your thoughts? Initial thoughts before we start talking about a little bit more.
I mean, my thing is, I wonder how Texas is going to react to not being top dog. And what I mean by that is, listen to what I mean by that is, how like in the Big 12, everybody caters towards
Texas and Oklahoma.
Texas and Oklahoma, but it seems like it's most geared toward Texas, but both of them. And now you're saying you want to go from being everything that we're talking about to now you just a regular Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're Texas, but let's be clear, Alabama is still going to be Alabama. Georgia is still going to be Georgia. And like you said, Texas hasn't won anything since 2006.
What has Georgia won?
Hold on. Hold on. This
wasn't even about Georgia.
I know. Hold on.
You brought them up.
First of all, this is bigger than we talk about.
Of course,
just
I was going to get to. That's what.
Hold on. Can I do this, please? Thank you. Just hold on for a second. The point that Ben is trying to say is that they cater to Texas as far as like even sometimes with the changing of the rules and what the rules they enforce and the whole horns down rule thing.
Everything. Just think about it. To everything. They basically in so many ways they really kiss Texas. They really do. So it's like now if you're Texas, you're finna leave that whole big fish and the small whatever. You're finna leave that to come to the SEC, and you're not gonna get all of that preferential treatment that you've been getting. Like we said, we can't go into the logistics about the network. You have your own damn network. You know what I'm saying? They allowed you to have that. That's how bad they kiss your ass. They allowed you to have your own damn network. So you're gonna go from all of that to come to the SEC. It's kind of like Texas. Are you really thinking this thing all the way through? And as far as Oklahoma goes, I think Oklahoma between the two, they'll be fine regardless. They'll be fine. They'll be fine regardless of where they land.
Hey, Tuck, y'all know what Texas Oklahoma said, right?
What's up?
Y'all know what they said?
What?
Show me the money.
That's it.
That's it.
When you go from they talking about now, $45.5 million was the last revenue split. Each school got $45.5 million.
Right.
To possibly 65 to as high as $80 million per school, even with 16. Everything, this whole thing we're doing right now, everybody on this call know, it's about that 5 little word. It's about showing me the money. And they don't care who they kill or what happens to the Big 12. They could give a care less. And apparently they got their own list, which is like about another 12 teams with like Cincinnati and UCF and all these other. It's a lot of schools. But I think I'm kind of with being on that point of they've done it. Like Texas kind of got away with a lot in the Big 12 when it comes to that. Now I'm not just talking about just football. I'm just talking about in general as far as like what they've done to come, and not to mention some of the things that they have ruined for the other members of the conference over time with the Big 12. Let me go ahead and let Tuck go before he explodes.
I shouldn't have mentioned Georgia. My bad.
I mean, you could have kept them out, but I understood what you were talking about.
They
but we're talking about football, but I understood what you're talking about. But anywho, don't bring up Georgia when you talk about they but what have Texas done if Georgia hasn't done anything. That's all I'm saying. Anywho,
Georgia did play for a national title a couple years ago.
Ben, stop. Help us out here, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so here's the thing. This is already a done deal. It came out. It came out during SEC Media Days. Bro, this is what they wanted. They wanted this to happen. The SEC president said no comment. He didn't say, no, that's not going to happen. This has came up so many times before. And he has said, no, we're just focusing on our 14 teams. This time he said no comment. I saw, oh, yeah, the hay's in the barn. It's already done. Okay, so let's break this thing down. Texas, Oklahoma. Texas comes to the SEC. Oh, but they can't go to the SEC because they have the Texas network. Bruh, they're going to give Texas probably $30 million and say, hey, here you go. Forget your network. We're going to dissolve it into the SEC network. Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming to the SEC. Oklahoma comes to the SEC. Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming to the SEC. Now you're going to get a bigger thing of the pot. It don't matter. It does not matter what either one of them do. As far as look, we got Texas A&M. That to me, that's who the team is like. Oh shit, it doesn't happen. I got Texas A&M, and I tried to run from these boys, and now they're back in my conference. Texas A&M did not want to play Texas anymore. They didn't want that to happen because they were getting trounced. Now you got Sark there, and now Sark can push the SEC angle. That's the only thing that Texas A&M really had was the SEC angle. Now you got Texas coming, bruh. It's a wrap. So Texas A&M is the only one who's crying. Okay, let them cry. I mean, look, they got money just like they got them oil money, just like them Texas boys got the oil money. Texas has got more oil money. Now, if this does happen, which is probably going to, they're gonna split it into 2 leagues or 4 pods. But I think the 2 leagues make more sense. That's
the new word of the day. Pod.
Right, because the only problem that we will have if you split these 2 leagues up in half is that you'll have everybody in the West, I mean, everybody in the East that's probably won a majority of all the games and stuff, and then you'll have everybody that's it'll be more heavy on the East side unless Texas and Oklahoma starts bringing it up on the West side, and they'll start getting heavy on that side. But as far as business wise, this thing is done. Oklahoma, they talk about a gentleman's agreement with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, bruh. That don't mean nothing. The state legislature don't mean nothing. You mean tell me you don't think these guys got attorneys and all this stuff and saying they didn't look at everything and didn't think this was going to happen? And I remember Dave saying something about Arkansas. Why would Arkansas leave? It wouldn't.
What he was saying, what Dave was saying was that he didn't think they was going to be a super conference. He just saying like if somebody was going to leave, one of the candidates to leave.
But this is what's going to happen. This is all setting up for a commissioner of college football. We're not going to have these. We're not going to have these. I think we'll have allegiances and stuff like that. But we're going to have a college football commissioner. Is going to spread out everything, and it is going to be y'all play who y'all want to play. Y'all play in the South, North, East, and West, and that's what's going to happen. I really think that this NCAA is really getting away. They already gotten away from the national championship game, so why not just get away from college football? Period, because it's a moneymaker. But the NCAA will always keep college basketball, but they can get rid of football. But I mean, we'll see. But I really think this is the beginning of the fall of the NCAA. Hopefully.
Well, it's already ain't no beginning. It's already in the, but Damien, sir, you've been at media days or associated with it all week long with SEC Media Days, and of course this was dropped right when Texas A&M,
ironically enough,
that was
like the most obvious leak ever.
That was not ironic. Because tell me what your thoughts are, because we just found out that there have been a year and a half of a committee meeting about playoffs, about expanding the playoffs that nobody was reporting on, and it took a year and a half for it to come out. What are your thoughts on it? What have you heard? What are you thinking?
So initially, the first interview that I got a chance to see was Jimbo Fisher. So they're doing questions, and somebody raises up and is like, Coach, there are reports that Texas and Oklahoma have inquired about coming to the SEC. And you see Jimbo like, what? Wait, huh?
He had that fake laugh,
cool.
like,
That's the first time I heard it. Yeah, like, okay, like, cool. But then my first thought was, there's no way that this move is going to be made other than financial reasons. Like, you realize Texas is like the most generated revenue school in the NCAA. Correct. To add that to the SEC, Commissioner, like you said, Commissioner Sankey know what he's doing.
Yeah, what he doing.
Like everybody playing checkers with the Big 12. The SEC is playing chess, like all the way. And like Texas A&M, like you said, they the ones that scared the most. Cause it's like, man, come on, like
these cats, dog.
Right, we've been fighting for second place in the SEC West, and then now y'all come over here.
Here we come.
That's why Missouri. They already knew, because you need 11 out of 14 votes. So SEC had already counted out Missouri and counted out Texas A&M, because they just like, no, y'all ain't coming over here to our part. That's like me and Dave buy a house on this nice street, and we know this fool trying to come. Like, no, bro, you can't come over here. So they want to block them. But I do think this is just the start. Like we said a year and a half ago, the NCAA, as they claim they're already doing, bagging away, hopefully getting a college commissioner. Hopefully, at least getting some type of Power 5 college commissioner, and maybe moving to 4 super conferences. Like we said, it wasn't a coincidence that it was leaked. It wasn't a coincidence that when it happened, all this was strategic. For now, them to say within a couple of weeks, this move can be made, and it also can be. But they talk about, at least be 2025 for their players.
That's what I was gonna say about the. I think what they were saying about the ESPN contract or whatever contract runs out at 2025, and it's like, hey, that would be, when they would go forward with this.
Sankey will say how much.
That's it. Like, and I got a chance just to like walk past him and kind of like people. He about his business. Like I can tell. Like, he is about that paper and what's going to keep the SEC brand bigger than everybody. Yeah,
Sankey could go right up to one of them oil men and be like, "Hey, bro, let me get 50 million out of you." Oh, okay, no problem.
Check in the mail.
It's not an issue. These are oil people,
and they got old money. They got old money. Every time
you pump the gas, you give Texas some money.
Right.
Just think about that.
And what we say now is gonna be about what?
Show me the money.
They gonna show it. They gonna show it.
I promise. Ain't an amount they can't read.
Blank checks about to go to the Big 12, bro. Blank checks.
Right.
Hey, so
Big 12 gonna be the group of 6.
That kind of has me rethinking on Ben's point though. With Texas not be priority.
They're not.
Do what not?
No, Texas gonna come in and get beat up.
Yeah, they get beat up. They're not.
I'm saying with what Texas bring, to your point, Damon, you was talking about the revenue that they
right.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And we all know Texas, they're not getting their love because of the show on the field. Yeah. They're getting their love.
True.
I got another U of T team that does the exact same thing. University of Tennessee. They do the exact same thing.
Did you take your anger pills today?
No, I know, right? Why are you attacking the SEC East today, man? Any listeners that follow SEC East teams, man, we're sorry about Chuck today.
University of Tennessee has one of the biggest, if not the biggest, alumni in the nation, and they ain't did jack squat.
Nothing.
It don't matter.
Nothing.
It don't matter. They lost Alabama 10 times.
But I think what David's asking is like they're not a priority. But I think what they came at them with was that Oklahoma and Texas they're packaged together. Because what the SEC want you know, like we always talk about helmet games and they want the brand, and not just because you got to think about like Texas, like we talking about the money. Texas in baseball, how big they are in baseball, how big they are in the Olympic sports, and all the other kinds of stuff. Oklahoma just won a softball championship, so it's like it increases the value of your conference. But what Dave was talking about earlier was like, so you basically just gonna gut the middle of the country because it's like if it's just the SEC, that's why I said you're gonna be looking at 4 super conferences, and once again, everybody gonna be get in where you fit in. So.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. But look, this was going to two teams either going to go. If we were going to go west, this is going to go west, or they're going to go
Pac-12 a while ago on the top.
It's going to be either going to be Texas, Oklahoma, or it's going to be Florida State, Virginia Tech. That's it. That's the only options that you had. That some expansion was going to happen regardless. Now, because the Virginia Tech wanted, like, if Virginia Tech would have came, they would have got the DMV money. They would have got DC, Maryland, Virginia money. If Florida State comes, then that gets Florida money, and you keep a rivalry together with Florida State and Florida. It's the same thing.
But I would say this though: if the little model that we saw, one of the little models, I know it's a bunch of them, but if you have it to where you have Texas, Oklahoma, and LSU and Texas A&M in the West, you still kind of have you're not necessarily catering towards Texas and Oklahoma, but you know you even it up for them to possibly win the West. One of them two, because I mean Texas A&M, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. You know, LSU had a up and a down years, whatever. But if you eliminating Auburn and you eliminating Bama from the West and you sliding them over to the East, where they're not going to have to play them every year. I mean, you look at Texas and Oklahoma, man. I mean, you look at what's left, especially Oklahoma-wise.
Hell no.
I ain't nobody trying to get it. Texas A&M ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
Texas A&M.
I'm taking Oklahoma over Texas A&M any day of the week.
Any day.
When I was Lincoln Riley there, I'm taking them any day of the week.
Hey, give me that bet.
I'll take the point.
I'm taking it any day of the week. With Lincoln there,
I'll take the point.
But see, you looking at you talk. Hold on. See, you keep talking about Lincoln. That's great. But the one thing that you still got to come in this conference and you still got to recruit. Not saying he not, but I'm talking about you talking about with Texas A&M and what they're doing now and what they're putting together now. You talking about so they just gonna come in? You just think they're gonna win that particular division? If they go that way.
But I think that their issue that they have, which is defense, by them coming to the SEC, they're going to be able to recruit They're going to be able to recruit what they need on that side of the ball. Because the offense is going to be what it's going to be.
Who played defense last year?
Well, Oklahoma ain't been playing defense for a while, but they ain't been. Oklahoma ain't been playing defense for a while, so that ain't really.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say they fit right in with everybody. Nobody played defense.
They ain't triple digits no more, but they about 90.
Yeah, I'm about to say they've been bad at defense for a while. So
hold on. Bringing it back. Pull it back. Before we start speculating on teams and what they're gonna do and where they're gonna go.
I can't stand Texas A&M. I can't stand Jimbo Fisher.
Well, we
anything positive coming out of Texas A&M, I can tell it. Just like horns down, thumbs down, all that. Like
why you ain't no coach? Why you doing Jimbo like that, man?
Man, I cannot stand Jimbo Fisher. Like he gets on my nerves.
He is one of the few active coaches with a national title.
Now, Damien, hold on. Damien, you know he gonna call into the show. You gonna have to produce that, man.
Let me tell you something. If Kelvin Benjamin wasn't 6'5" and
hey, nobody told y'all to put Davis on him.
Man, we could. Who else is gonna be over there? Like, if Kelvin, the only thing that got Jimbo Fisher a national championship was genetics, because they went Nick Marshall left, Nick Marshall right, Trey Mason left, Trey Mason right, throw it deep, and they still almost had a chance to win a national championship. I refuse to tell. Man, don't get me started on Jimbo Fisher.
Don't do it.
Right, because what I have to do is disconnect Ben and just take him off the call if you start talking about Jimbo Fisher. I'm telling you, we're not going there.
It's just Jimbo. It's just
no.
Jimbo.
I got you. But I mean, I put it like this: we talking about one or two. We have to see how it all plays out. It looks like it may do that. They might do the 4 pods, but I know one thing: I trust Sankey. So if he doing it, he always a step ahead. Anything that come with money, he always a step ahead when it comes to it. But you can see it like Tuck was saying when your commissioner starts saying no comment, and then the Big 12 commissioner was basically saying no comment. It's like, oh, okay.
They having secret meetings over here, and it's like,
they got to say. He just say, I ain't heard nothing. I ain't no. That man said no comment.
That man said, I have no comment. And then today on Firebomb, he was like, I'm going to continue to say what I've said all week. Talking about Sankey, he said, I have no comment.
And to both of y'all point, it ain't been nobody that came out. You know how normally when stuff like this get to rolling, some weird outlet comes out and emphatically denies it. Yeah. Like there has not been nobody that has denied this.
I've only seen one. I've only seen one.
That's it. Like Nard put it in the group. He was like, look, they're meeting right now.
Right now.
Big 12 is meeting right now.
With no Oklahoma, no Texas.
Like Baylor and Oklahoma State over there mad. Cause like, man, what they going?
Shut up. Hold up, man.
And look, and to your point, this is so crazy because they just had the Big 12 media day. And none of this was bubbling. You didn't hear none of this. So it's like the rest of the Big 12 looking like, really? 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 We were just together last week. None of y'all said nothing.
Well, truth be told, I mean, here's where we are. Like the Big 12 had their meeting today, but guess who else had a meeting today? The SEC presidents, not athletic directors. The presidents had a meeting right at the end of their media days today. Yep. It's in motion, man. Things are always in motion. Like I said, you had a year and a half of secret meetings behind the scenes about a playoff expansion. And nobody knew anything until it was over with, until they came out and said it. Man, at that high level right there, that's why they don't like telling athletic directors nothing. They rather talk to the presidents because the presidents always have to keep secrets.
Right. So, because they got to have the final vote, no matter what. The presidents got to have the final vote anyway. That's why they're influential. You got to influence them to see what the bigger picture is. And I mean, somebody said, "Well, Texas A&M ain't gonna vote for it." Okay, you need what? 2 more votes?
11. You need 11 out of 14. 11 out of 14.
Yeah, they said Missouri ain't gonna go along with it either.
I mean, of course. I mean, because they came from the Big 12. They don't want that. They don't want that issue either. Because they'll have to play Texas and Oklahoma will probably be in the same division. They don't want that. They don't want none of that smoke.
That junk go through. I was scared of Texas A&M and Texas week 1 of that season. This gonna be all the way. AD, this gonna be all the way petty. Just schedule a week 1.
Schedule week 1.
Well, look at here, Petty. I have a question. Can any of y'all tell me how much money y'all think the Big 10 schools are getting per school?
Per school from the Big 10 network or just from
the payout? How much you think? I'll start with Dave. Dave, how much money you think each school getting in Big 10?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have absolutely no clue. I'm waiting to see what it is.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Ben?
I think about 50, maybe 50.
Tuck?
15.
So they get more than that.
I was gonna say like 25, 30.
They get 50.
They made $768.9 million. Each school got 54.3.
God almighty.
Yes, I heard them joking about that a while ago. It's 50. Yeah.
You know what? That is they got the bigger TV markets up there too. I just thought about that too. So.
54.3 million from each one. I mean, that's I mean, in the Big 12 schools was like between 30 and 40.
But I think the SEC will probably jump up that far because ESPN is taking over in a couple of years too.
Yes,
so
the ESPN money is what's going to bless that. That's why they said from going from where it's at now about 46 up to probably about 65, 66, 60, between 60 and 70. Either way it go, you get a $15 million bump per school, and that's just an estimate. But Dave, I want to ask you, this happened 10 years ago. And the reason why I want to ask you this because normally sometimes you think differently. So I want to be sure, I want to get your point on this. 10 years ago, this came up again, and they talked about the Pac-10. It was the Pac-10 at the time. They were supposed to add Texas, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State. And they ended up adding Utah and Colorado. At this point, with everything that's going around, do you see this not happening?
I don't see it not happening. I see it happening. Because I've gotten word of just through some rumors that the Big 12 is looking at like Arizona and Arizona State.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I see it happening. And then also Nebraska, I heard rumors that they may be trying to get back to the Big 12 due to recruiting and things of that nature.
Big Ten's ain't doing shit for that.
They were dumb for doing that.
That didn't never make no damn sense.
That made no sense.
Zero.
Just thinking about what you were saying with the revenue part of it, thinking about the movement, the Big 12 actually getting back to 12 teams if Arizona State come, the talk around the 4 power conferences and the pods and all this stuff, and then the fact that college football playoff is being expanded. Man, I don't see why it wouldn't happen. I mean, everything we know about ever since COVID happened, everything we knew about college football has changed. You know what I mean? Heck, we just had a season where folks was making up their own schedule on the fly. So why
week to week,
why wouldn't it happen? I mean, I really think it will. I don't know how good it's gonna be, but I'm gonna be there to see. I'm gonna see how it turn out. I think all of it's gonna explode in our face after a while, but you know, we gonna see
at some point, right?
At some point.
But why it's hot? You got to do what? You got to do what?
Show me the money.
Got to show me the money, because that's where we at right now. Everything is about the dollar. But we getting close up on about an hour, man. And Damien, I want to give you the floor, see if you have anything you want to say, or if you any thoughts you wanted to get out about this week with media days and these topics that we talked about tonight. It's like, what's your thoughts on everything since you was firsthand?
Man, no, it was just like SEC Media Days. It's cool. Like, it was a cool experience. I think for some, it might sound crazy, but Brian Harsin has sold me. Like, they couldn't have made a better hire over there at Auburn, man, because I think his message is gonna hit. Like, it's a lot to say that, you know, he won at Boise State and you know how quote unquote easy it was to win out there. But what he's bringing into Auburn and the faith he has like in his team, he feels as though like this may be the best team he's had since he's been in coaching. And I mean, a lot to say with Bo Nix and how he progresses. But as far as Tank Bigsby, man, like he started smiling, damn near foaming at the mouth when he started talking about Tank, because he like, man, it's gonna get nasty with him.
If you had him, you would too.
Man,
like, he's just a sophomore.
Yes. Yeah, yes. Like, that's the scary part. Like, and he's finally they got a spring. They're gonna have a training camp. Like, everything that 2020 wasn't. 2021 is about to be completely different. Like, these coaches are excited because it's like, wow, we can finally get somewhat to normalcy. Same with Mississippi State. I don't know what it is about Mike Leach, but he controls every room he's in. Like, he talks about anything other than football, and it's straight up like won't crack a smile or nothing. He talk about, like, he says, what was he saying? He was like, when I was 18, he brought up a good point. He's like, you know, this transfer portal gives too much opportunity for guys, you know, who are 18, 19 years old, still trying to figure out life. It gives them the quick way out. And like, the room just got silent. I was like, man, that makes sense. He's like, think about when you were 18, 19, 20, like how many decisions you made just off the rip because, oh, I'm not starting or I'm not playing. Oh, let me go transfer. Now you have that option. Right. He's like, now look at the number of people in the transfer portal and who basically are just wasting their time because nobody's picking them up. But I really think that Mississippi State may surprise some people in the West. But I tell you what, I don't know what it is about Eli Drinkwitz. Missouri, they are years away, but he is building that thing all the way right. He ain't scared of nobody. He ain't
on my surprise,
man. He sound like Gus Jr., bro.
No,
don't you do him like that.
He sound like Gus Jr.
Don't do him like that. I'm telling you, Eli Drinkwitz is probably the most interesting just interview and just talking to him outside of just like him doing the interview. It's just like this dude gets it. Like he just gets it. But I think the SEC, man, it's cream of the crop. Like the way Commissioner Sankey walks around that building, walks around just oozing money, just oozing confidence. It's like, wow, like, okay, like this is it. Like, okay, I see this is the big dogs right here. Like these are the big dogs. But I had a fun week though.
Man, I knew you would. Man, we had a great week. Thank again to the SWAC, man, for inviting us. You know what I'm saying? And we had a great time up there, man, kicking it. And we got so much more with the SWAC coming up, man. Gonna really be the first true weekend. College game day gonna be there. Not that September weekend, but that last weekend of August going into it. Gonna be at that game. That's gonna be a great exposure for them. And man, look, we got some more stuff coming. I know we keep saying it, but we almost there. So if you don't do nothing else, y'all already know what we're gonna need from every one of them. Damien, we need 30 of your friends. Damien gets more. We need 30 of your friends. And everybody that you see right here on the screen that's still there. We need you to like and subscribe on the YouTube. Follow us. You can hit us up on Twitter. We interact. We do talk back. Some of y'all talk too much. That's a whole different story. I ain't gonna go there, but some of y'all want to just be.
Hey, with name, image, and likeness, y'all can find somebody. Y'all can find a little college dude. Hey, man, throw this thing.
Hey, man, we are not tech. We are not ads.
We ain't got no money.
We are not text ads.
We got no money.
Hold on. Damien, hold on. We are not textags.com. We are not paying Isaiah Spiller $10,000 for some inside for some.
Man, you better give me the playbook. I'm gonna give you $10,000. You better tell me what y'all running on Saturday. You better tell me what your mama ate.
All we can provide is t-shirts, hoodies. We might come up with some hats. But that's about all we're gonna be able to give. We're gonna be able to provide you merchandise.
Hold on. Y'all speaking out of turn over here. Come on now, because listen, how y'all know we're gonna be able to give? We might have a sponsor coming to the show. We might have a sponsor coming to the show.
Talk to him.
We might have a sponsor come to the show. Hey, I don't tell everybody everything.
Hey, everything cooked in the kitchen ain't gotta be brought to the table.
They ain't got. Hey, D, they don't even know everything.
I'm hungry. bring everything to the table. I'm hungry.
And look, D, I guess he dipped, but I don't know.
No, I think his phone problem with
that. Yeah, but here go Arian.
Oh man,
Aaron, we got you. But while we got a minute, while we got like one more minute before we get up off of this thing, man, we do have more content coming. We have more things coming. He done popped back in. Hey, but David, I want to see what you got, man. I want you, since you done showed it off. What you got?
Dave,
what I do?
Model.
You know you the official model now. You slim shady now, so you know you the model.
Look at him.
Nice.
Hey man, we got some stuff coming, man.
We call him Sample Dave because he has all the ones of ones. Nobody else has none of this stuff. Look, nobody has these things. Nobody.
I was trying to find
that's nice.
We got to come, man. Have it.
I'm a sneakerhead. I'd be like, I would like to have something like that one of these days.
I told you, man. I wear medium, man. I wear medium.
Hey, man, it's coming, man. All this is coming. So, and y'all just make sure, like, subscribe, follow us. If you're not, then you know when it's coming. And when the store is coming, when everything is coming, y'all will know. But, fellas, y'all got anything else before we end the night, man? We right at an hour. Want to get everybody out. Damon got to get up in the morning. He got his show at 6 a.m.
Man, come on now. You know I don't sleep. I'm 25 years old.
Pump that thing, D. Pump that thing, man. Pump it.
That time you missed is gonna catch back up.
It's gonna catch up.
You gonna feel it. Once you turn 30, you be like, man,
I could show using that.
Hey, Damian still outside running with his shirt off in the park. And
Hey,
stuff
you
like
know,
that.
Yeah, he run around in the rain and then come in with the air conditioner on. No, that's gonna change.
It hit different once you get past 30.
But man, we appreciate y'all rocking us tonight, man. We'll be back real soon. Just keep a watch out, man. We got some stuff coming. But if nothing else, man, fellas, we out, man. So we'll see y'all next time.
All right, man. Peace. We out.
appreciate